Welcome to this explainer. You know, if you've ever had the unique privilege of sharing your living space with a feline, you already know the absolute truth. You don't really own a cat. You cohabit with a tiny, discerning, and incredibly observant roommate. Today, we're going to decode the subtle and honestly fascinating world of feline behavior. We'll uncover the scientific and emotional signs that you are, in fact, your cat's absolute favorite human. And, perhaps more importantly, we're going to outline exactly how you can maintain that highly coveted VIP status once you've actually earned it.
So let's just start with a highly emotional question. Are you really your cat's favorite? I mean, think about it. You buy the premium food, you scoop the litter box every single day, you invest in those super expensive climbing towers that they completely ignore, right? Just so they can sit in the cardboard box it came in. You put in all this work, but do they actually prefer you over everyone else in the house? Or are you simply the most convenient can opener in their immediate vicinity? It's a question that plagues a lot of cat lovers, but stick with me because by the end of this explainer, you're going to know exactly where you stand.
All right, here is our quick visual roadmap for today's journey. We'll start by unpacking the mystery of cat behavior. Then we'll explore the parental bond between you two. After that, we'll look at the gift of trust and its specific signs, followed by answering exactly why your cat chose you. Finally, we'll cover the unspoken rules to maintain your status, and wrap up with a conclusion on how to keep this extraordinary bond going strong.
Okay, let's dive right into section 1, the mystery of cat behavior.
Listen, if you've spent any time around felines, you know for a fact that reading them is absolutely nothing like reading a dog. Dogs basically wear their hearts on their sleeves, don't they? They wag their tails, they jump up, they make it crystal clear exactly how they feel. Cats, on the other hand, well, they're kind of like a beautiful puzzle wrapped in fur. They lock their hearts in a safe, hide the key, and force us to learn an entirely new language just to understand them. It's an emotional mystery, often hiding profound affection behind this notoriously aloof exterior. We've all seen the classic tropes, the sheer arrogance of a cat slowly pushing a water glass off a table while staring you dead in the eye, or walking into a room judging everyone in it and immediately leaving. But here's the thing. It is absolutely crucial to understand that behind that judgmental gaze is a really complex emotional landscape. They aren't actually plotting your demise. They're just masters at masking their vulnerability. You see, in the wild, domestic cats are both predators and prey, and that means hiding their feelings is literally an evolutionary survival tactic. So recognizing this aloofness as a biological shield is your very first step in seeing the genuine affection that's hiding just beneath the surface.
Moving right along to section 2, the parental bond between you.
Now that we understand that biological shield they put up, we can shift our focus to the actual psychology of how your cat views you when those defenses finally come down. Let's define what a parental bond actually looks like in this context. It's a dynamic where a feline views its human caretaker as maternal or paternal figure, actively seeking comfort, security, and guidance. And this isn't just some cute, romanticized idea we tell ourselves. It's deeply rooted in feline behavioral science. Unlike their wild ancestors who grow up and completely detached from their mothers, domestic cats retain their juvenile traits well into adulthood. Scientists actually have a word for this. It's called neoteny. So when your cat is rhythmically kneading your leg with their paws, or when they relentlessly follow you into the bathroom, crying at the door, they are actually regressing into kitten-like behaviors. To them, you're literally a giant, strangely hairless, and clumsy surrogate mother or father. Validating this emotional connection means realizing that their dependence on you goes way, way deeper than just expecting their next meal. To them, you are their ultimate safe harbor.
Now, what's really interesting is section 3, the gift of trust and its signs.
We're about to decode the specific, and let's be totally honest here, sometimes utterly weird ways felines physically demonstrate that immense trust to their surrogate parents. Here are 3 core behavioral indicators that you are, in fact, the chosen one. First up is delivering the slow blink of affection. If your cat looks at you from across the room and slowly closes and opens their eyes, they are essentially giving you a feline smile. Biologically speaking, in the animal kingdom, closing your eyes in the presence of another creature is the ultimate display of trust because it briefly turns off their visual threat detection. If you slow blink back at them, you're speaking their language and reinforcing that shared security. Next is exposing the vulnerable belly. Out in the wild, a cat's stomach is its softest, most vulnerable spot, protecting all the vital organs. If they roll over and expose it to you, it's a massive compliment. They feel entirely safe. But a quick warning here. It's a sign of trust, sure, but it is not always an invitation for a belly rub. If you touch it, their biological instinct to protect themselves might kick in, and boom, it becomes a furry bear trap. Finally, bringing gifts like toys or prey. Look, as unpleasant as finding a dead mouse or a soggy toy on your pillow might be, you really have to look at the intention behind the biology. In their mind, they're acting on their hunting instinct to provide for their family, integrating you directly into their core social group. Experiencing any of these behaviors is honestly a remarkably high honor.
Which brings us to section 4, why did your cat choose you?
If you live in a household with multiple people, you've probably noticed that the cat heavily favors one specific individual. And there's a really fascinating disconnect between our two species regarding why this happens. On one side, we have what humans think cats want: constant petting, hovering, picking them up, and basically forcing cuddles. Because we humans are primates, our natural instinct is to touch, hold, and squeeze the things we love. But on the other side, we have what cats actually look for: respecting boundaries and personal space. Cats are fiercely independent creatures. Have you ever noticed that a cat will walk into a room full of people trying to get its attention and then immediately jump right into the lap of the one person who is completely ignoring it? Like the person who's literally allergic to cats? That happens because the person ignoring them isn't a threat to their autonomy. They aren't staring, which is a predatory behavior in the animal world, and they aren't reaching out. So if you are your cat's favorite, it's highly likely because you let them come to you on their own terms. You proved that you understand their need for agency. And in the feline world, respecting boundaries absolutely equals love. So the crucial point is section 5, rules to maintain your status. Okay, so how do you avoid messing this all up? We've explained the underlying behavior and why they chose you in the first place, but let's be real, relationships take work. Consider these the unspoken, ironclad rules you need to follow to keep your VIP status intact. Step 1, respect the sleep schedule. Cats can sleep up to 16 hours a day. It is absolutely vital for their health, their immune system, and their overall mood. Interrupting their deep REM sleep just because you want a quick cuddle, that is a fast track to losing their favor. Seriously, let sleeping cats lie. Step 2, master the feeding routine. Cats are creatures of intense habit and they thrive on predictability. Feeding them at the exact same time every single day establishes you as the reliable, steadfast provider in their life. Consistency builds deep psychological trust. And step 3, learn when to stop petting. Cats get overstimulated very easily. You really need to watch their micro-body language. A twitching tail, ears slightly flattening to the side, or skin rippling along their back, that's your immediate cue to back off before a love bite happens. Following this definitive procedure ensures your cat feels respected, keeping your bond strong and unbroken.
Finally, we reach section 6, conclusion, maintaining this bond. You know, maintaining this bond is undoubtedly the most rewarding part of the entire journey. Being a cat's chosen human isn't just some one-time achievement. It's an ongoing, daily responsibility. It requires patience, keen observation, and a whole lot of mutual respect. But as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this somewhat provocative thought. Think about your relationship with your feline friend for a second. Did you adopt the cat, or did the cat adopt you? When you really consider the deep parental bond they formed, those slow blinks they offer you from across the room, and the way they carefully selected you based on your unique ability to respect their boundaries, well, it really makes you wonder who is actually pulling the strings here. You might just be living in their house, perfectly following their rules. It's a special, mysterious, and beautifully complex relationship that you get the privilege to share every single day. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep respecting those boundaries, enjoy those slow blinks, and I'll catch you next time.